Today's episode is brought to you by Digital Joy for Less, where you'll find printable journals and activity sets for you and your kids. Click the link in the show notes to check it out, or go to etsy.com/shop/slash digital joy for less. Hey there, welcome to Finding Joy with Less podcast. This is Marianne, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. I hope to help you discover joy and a greater appreciation for life. I also want to encourage you, if you have failed to achieve what you thought was your dream, it is okay to start over and build a new life by unlocking your potential with your God given gifts and talents, and use that to your advantage to gain financial freedom. Welcome back to my show. This is Marianne, and I missed sharing things with you. I had to lay low for a little bit on blogging and podcasting because of my transition. If you've been following along, you'd know that I'm currently studying full-time while juggling work and mom life. It's a big adjustment, but I think things are progressing well. So today I want to share how being mindful helps us in our everyday lives. Last Sunday, our pastor preached about the power of thoughts. I like that he started by telling us to focus on the moment, to not think about anything else, but to engage our thoughts where we currently are. And at that time, that was being at church, listening to the preaching. It's human nature. How often have you been in a situation or a place, but your mind is elsewhere, thinking about other things? I'm not sure about you, but I'm guilty of that. Whether I'm doing Bible devotional or playing with my child, I often find my thoughts drifting and thinking about something else in advance. I think about the bills and wonder how I'll finish my assignments before the weekend. But then, when I'm in the moment to actually do those things, my mind goes somewhere else. Does that ever happen to you? If not, if you're very well organized in your thoughts, maybe this episode is not for you. But for some of us, we tend to fill our thoughts with many things that we are sometimes not present at the moment. We worry about many things instead of finding joy where we are. Proverbs 23:7 ESV says, "For as he calculates in his soul, so is he." And in the NIV translation, "For as he thinks within himself, so he is." The things we fill our mind with becomes a reality. If we think about negative things, we gain negative feelings. Many Bible verses support the power of our thoughts. And you can do your own search for that as well if you'd like during your quiet time. And then, according to Stanford researchers, human mind also shapes our reality. So both science and the Bible supports this idea. Most of the podcast shows I've listened to, although unrelated to mindfulness, discussed how we could leverage being mindful to our productivity. And I am inspired to share this episode because I am a fond believer that the reason we learn things is to share them with others as well. Okay, so mindfulness involves bringing awareness to our senses and thoughts. According to mindful.org, mindfulness is being fully present and aware of our surroundings without being overly reactive or overwhelmed. While it is a natural ability, it can be improved through daily practice. Research suggests that training the brain in mindfulness can physically change the brain structure. Now, how can we apply this to our lives as busy parents who constantly juggle work and life? So here are some ideas from our pastor, Lindsay Bird, but I'll add my thoughts as well. First, if we put too much pressure on ourselves and worry about negative things, we must acknowledge it. Confess and surrender these thoughts to God as He cares about us. And that's from 1 Peter 5:7. Second, we need to train our minds to be able to focus. Whether in the middle of bonding with your child, working on school assignments, or a new project at home, try to put all your attention into what you're doing. Fully embrace the moment and focus. Third, set aside time in your day to meditate. It doesn't have to be in the morning if you're not a morning person. You can train your mind to meditate for at least 15 minutes daily. And something that I've been practicing lately is doing a midday reset. Because I study and do house chores in the first part of my day, my mind and body get tired midday. So, to refresh my mind before working at 3 p.m., I meditate for at least 10 minutes, or just be quiet for 10 minutes before I start my job. Now, the fourth thing is to focus on new thoughts. If you always think negatively, catch yourself and replace your thoughts. Because of my added schoolwork, I noticed myself whining a lot about work when I used to love the work I did before. And so instead of worrying about not being able to finish my tasks for the day, I try to shift my thoughts and be grateful that despite my hectic schedule, I'm almost done with my current term. Yes, it's just 4 weeks away and I'm done with the current term. I've learned a lot from both work and business school. And this is not to say that you will ignore your negative feelings, but we must focus on what we can control versus what we cannot. Fifth, you need to have an outlet to offload. Write down your thoughts or have a brain dump on your phone to release negative or even positive ideas and reflect on them during your downtime. For me, I have a notes app on my phone. That's where I put all of my uninvited ideas, and who knows, I might be creative on that someday, and you as well. Lastly, watch your internal dialogue or watch what you tell yourself. Even though you can't have it all, we can't have it all the time. We can redirect our negative self-talk by acknowledging our achievements and strengths. Your actual reality is determined by what you choose to concentrate on. Shifting your focus can change your perception and transform your reality. Finally, brothers and sisters in this show, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. This verse from Philippians 4:8 encourages us to focus on positive and virtuous things and avoid dwelling on harmful thoughts. It is a call to cultivate a positive and uplifting mindset and seek out and celebrate the good, not just in our lives, but the people around us. Cultivate mindfulness in your daily life with our transformative workbook filled with practical exercises and guided meditations. Head on over to findingjoywithless.com/mindful to download your free copy of the 12-page mindfulness workbook. Mom, what's wrong with my skin? Has your child asked you that question? Or maybe you fear that they're gonna ask it sooner or later? If you want to teach your kid to embrace their individuality and uniqueness over the influences of mainstream media and social media about the standard of beauty, check out the children's book written by Marjorie Frenette, What's Wrong with My Skin? This book is about the adventures of a Filipina girl named Ligaya, and this book inspires young girls to love the skin they're in and let their inner light shine. Go to marjoriefrenette.com or click the link in the show notes. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, please take a moment to subscribe to my show and share it with your family and friends on social media. I appreciate that a lot. And you're also welcome to leave a review and or suggestions by rating the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or you can leave me a message through my website, findingjoywithless.com/podcast. I'll link it in the show notes. Thank you.